Here's the truth almost nobody tells you as a new business owner. Your pricing is not really about what your product costs to make. It's about whether your business can survive the month where nothing sells. And that month is coming, whether you want it to or not. I'm going to show you how to price your work so that when revenue drops 30, 40, even 50% for a stretch, you don't panic, you don't max out a credit card, and you don't have to fire yourself. This is Cash Flow and Profit, part of the Owner's Ledger series for owners in years 0 to 2. If you stay with me, by the end of this video, you'll have a pricing model that actually respects your bills, your taxes, and your sanity. Let me lay out the stakes first. According to research from the JP Chase Institute on small business cash buffers, the median small business holds only about 27 days of cash on hand. 27 days. That means the average owner is roughly one slow month away from a cash crisis. It's not because they're bad at what they do. It's because their prices were built on hope. Hope that every month looks like the good month. Hope that clients pay on time. Hope that no equipment breaks. Hope that no one gets sick. Hope is a beautiful thing. It is a terrible pricing strategy. If your prices can't fund a slow month, your business is essentially a coin flip every quarter. And I don't want you running a coin flip business. So let's fix it. We are going to cover 4 things in this video. 1, the real number your price actually has to cover. 2, how to build in a slow month buffer without becoming the expensive option in your market. 3, the exact formula I want you to use this week, worked out with real numbers. And 4, the 4 pricing moves you make when a slow stretch actually hits, so you protect your margin instead of shredding it. Chapter 1. The real number your price actually has to cover. Most new owners set prices by looking at 3 competitors online and picking a number somewhere in the middle. That's not pricing. That's guessing in public. Real pricing starts from the bottom up. You have to know your true delivery cost, your overhead, your owner pay, your tax reserve, and your profit target. Let me put numbers on it so this stops being abstract. Say you run a small service business. Your direct cost to deliver one job, materials and labor time and software, is $120. Your monthly overhead, phone, insurance, subscriptions, bookkeeper, is $1,500. You want to pay yourself $4,000 a month because that's what your household actually needs to run. You need to set aside about 25% for federal and state taxes on that owner pay, roughly $1,000 a month. And you want 10% profit on top so the business itself keeps something for reinvestment and reserves. If you assume you can realistically deliver 20 jobs per month at full capacity, every job has to cover about $75 of overhead, plus its share of your salary, plus its share of your tax reserve, plus profit on top. When you actually run those numbers honestly, your break-even price per job is nowhere near your competitor's Instagram price. It's usually 40 to 60% higher. That gap is where new owners quietly go broke while smiling at every client. They think they're winning because the phone is ringing. In reality, every ring is a loss disguised as revenue. Chapter 2. How to build in a slow month buffer without becoming the expensive option in your market. Here's the mindset shift that saves careers. You do not price for the best month. You do not even price for the average month. You price for the second worst month of the year.
That's the month where a chunk of clients disappear, an invoice goes unpaid, a piece of equipment breaks, or a family emergency eats a week of work. If your pricing survives that month, you're bulletproof the rest of the year. To do this, you build a slow month multiplier into your pricing. I recommend new owners target 90 to 120 days of operating expense in reserve before they even think about relaxing on price. So take your monthly overhead, plus your owner pay, plus your tax reserve, multiply by 3, and that's your target reserve. If your monthly cost of existing is $6,500, your target reserve is $19,500. Every single project you sell should be contributing something to that reserve until you hit it. In practice, that looks like adding a 15 to 20% reserve line inside your price. Not a discount you give away later, a cushion that funds your survival. Clients aren't paying more because you're greedy. They're paying for a business that will actually still exist next quarter when they need you again. And that's a feature, not a bug of the price. When you frame it in your own head as continuity, you'll stop apologizing when you quote it. Chapter 3. The exact formula I want you to use this week. Get a piece of paper right now or open a Google Sheet. Write down 5 numbers. Number 1, your true direct cost per unit or per job. Number 2, your monthly overhead divided by your realistic monthly capacity. That's your overhead per job. Number 3, your target owner pay divided by capacity. That's owner pay per job. Number 4, 25 to 30% of that owner pay figure as tax reserve per job. Number 5, a profit target of 10 to 15% applied on top of the running subtotal. Add them together. That is your minimum viable price. Now stack on the slow month reserve I just described, another 15 to 20%, and you have your published price. Let's stay with the service business example so this is concrete. Direct cost, $120. Overhead per job at 20 jobs a month is $75. Owner pay per job is $200. Tax reserve per job at 25% of owner pay is $50. Subtotal so far is $445. Profit at 10% of that subtotal is $45. New subtotal is $490. Add a 20% slow month buffer of $98. Published price is roughly $590 per job. Now compare that to the $299 you see on some competitor's site. You now understand why so many low-price service businesses fail inside 24 months. The price never covered reality. It covered the fantasy version of their business where nothing ever goes wrong. Yours will not. Not anymore. Not after today. Chapter 4. The 4 pricing moves you make when a slow stretch actually hits. This is where most owners panic and destroy the brand. They see a slow week and immediately slash prices, throw out a coupon, or offer a package deal so aggressive it locks them into losing money for 6 months. Don't do that. Here's what to do instead. There are 4 specific plays, and if you keep them in your back pocket, you'll never be the owner staring at an empty calendar wondering whether to beg for work at 50% off. Move 1. Introduce a smaller version of your offer, not a discounted version. If your main package is $600, create a stripped-down version at $350 that removes real scope, not just the price. New owners and prospects who need help but can't afford the flagship get in the door, and your flagship pricing stays intact for everyone else. This protects your anchor price. Discounting the flagship trains buyers to wait.
Offering a smaller product trains buyers to upgrade. Move 2. Add a payment plan, not a price cut. A $590 service split into 3 payments of $200 is dramatically easier for a nervous prospect to say yes to. The dollar amount doesn't move at all. Your cash timing does. This alone can rescue a slow month because the buyer objection is almost never the total price. It's the first payment. Solve the first payment and you often solve the sale. Move 3. Offer a time-bound bonus, not a permanent discount. If you absolutely must move on price to close deals, do it through added value inside a tight window. Book by Friday and I include a follow-up strategy call worth $150. That reads as urgency, not desperation. And when the window closes, your full price returns without any brand damage. The buyer feels rewarded for acting fast. Your list price stays exactly where it was. Move 4. Raise prices on new work, protect existing customers. This sounds backwards, but it works, and it works fast. When times are lean, most owners freeze prices out of fear. Big mistake. Slow times are actually when you should quietly raise prices on new incoming leads while grandfathering your current clients at the old rate. Your best clients feel taken care of, your new leads never knew the old price and can't compare, your margin per job goes up exactly when you need it most, which is precisely when volume is down. This is how mature owners bend the curve back in their favor. It feels counterintuitive the first time. After the first successful pass, you will never freeze prices again. Now the recap, quick and clean. 27 days is the median cash buffer for small businesses. Your prices have to fund the slow month, not the fantasy month. Your true price is direct cost plus overhead per job plus owner pay per job plus tax reserve plus profit plus a 15 to 20% slow month buffer on top. And when a slow stretch actually hits, you don't slash prices. You add a smaller package, you offer a payment plan, you run a time-bound bonus, and you quietly raise prices on new work while grandfathering existing customers. Here's your homework for this week. Open a spreadsheet today, not tomorrow, today. Type in the 5 numbers I gave you. Calculate your true minimum viable price. Compare it to what you're actually charging right now. If there's a gap, that gap is not a marketing problem. That's a pricing problem, and it's the single highest leverage fix you can make in the next 30 days. If you want the exact template I use with my clients, it's linked in the description below under Owner's Ledger Pricing Worksheet. Download it, plug your numbers in, and get your published price locked in before the weekend. And if this saved you from a slow month disaster in advance, do me one favor. Subscribe to the Owner's Ledger channel because next week we're going deep on something almost no new owner handles right: health insurance for self-employed owners. There are 3 plans most new owners don't even know exist, and one of them can cut your monthly premium in half without cutting your coverage. That episode drops Tuesday morning. I'll see you there. Until then, take care of your prices this week, and your prices will take care of you when the slow month shows up, because it is coming. And now, you're ready.